No, I'm just putting it under your nose. We're doing the Blair Witch Project. Hi. I'm Blair Witching it.
I get it.
We're in the dark, and I hear something. It's Carl. Remember to like the video. Thank you. Let's see. Wait a minute. We got a new light for this, a flashlight. But the other light is really good. Oh! Okay. Let's not do that light. Let's do this light. Where are we, Carl? No, you can't do that one either. You're completely not visible.
Yeah, this helps.
There we go. This one's easier. We're gonna go with the dark and stormy night.
I can hold that and
No, but you're the one talking now.
I'm turning it.
No, leave it on you. You're telling where we are. Tell them where we are before we start driving.
We are in the outskirts of Fjärland. We have driven through Fjärland and we are
You're in a van.
driving back in the same direction.
PJ Lightning says the Vikings had vans. We're in the back of a white van. I don't know. The guy said he had puppies. We could come and see them. No. Okay. Yeah. Let's say, there's a bunch of people. Let's say hi first. And then we'll tell them why we're sitting in the car. Probably killing my battery. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Look at that. I think Anna Taylor's first. Nope, maybe Charlotta, but Anna's the first one I see on my chat right now. Raymond says, poor Karen going to have to scroll through pages of my banter and the video starts. Oh, I see how this went. They've been on for a while now. That's what happens when I post early. Ashley's here, Raymond's here, Anna Taylor's here. Anna says, back when our weather was more predictable, we could get intermittent heavy thunderstorms in July and August and light to moderate rain showers in late winter to spring with snow in the very high mountains. In the high mountains, where are we at now? Are we low? Are we water level or are we up?
At sea level, pretty much.
We're at sea level.
The fjord is right on there.
Yep. And we are on our way to Selje. We knew that we would not get to Selje in time, but we just chose to stop at the bottom of a mountain, basically, because of internet access.
Yep.
Yeah?
No, this kind of works. If we had kept driving, we would be in the middle of the mountains now.
Yep.
So we may or may not have had internet access.
Okay. Outer's here. Oh, God, everybody else is freezing, too. I see. How cold was it today? You were outside a little bit?
It's -5-ish.
-5-ish? Yeah, it was like -10 last night. I'm going to go real quick through here. And then we'll catch up just to see what the heck Raymond's been doing. He's been... No, but that's awesome. I like that the chat gets along with each other because it should be like a bit like a hangout. Especially when we don't have any Viking village to look at. Albert's here, by the way. It's like you see people coming to chat and it's like Norm from Cheers. I love this. Okay, gonna quick scroll because we're gonna start driving and I don't have my computer to check now. Adrian is here as well. He's done studying for today. Seems like he's finally getting some progress, or doing some progress. Finally getting down some of his own reflections and thoughts. You got to write what you're studying about, Adrian, if they don't know. Bear with beer is pretty nice. Oh, by the way, do we need to get you a beer? Did you decide if you want to have a beer or not? He can have one.
Iced coffee, I think.
Okay, yeah, iced coffee is good. If you don't know that Carl has an affliction for iced coffee, he lives off of iced coffee and tobacco. That's it. He doesn't have anything else. Cough medicine lately, maybe, but that's about it. So if he starts coughing. Drink what you want, says Albert, but I think they're talking about something different, but it's fitting for this occasion, too. Garcia's here in Holland. By the way, Adrian and Albert are both from Norway. Raymond's in Australia, upside down land. Anne, I believe, was in Nevada, if I remember correctly, or Arizona. Somewhere really hot. Karsten's here with Dordo from Flensburg in Germany. And Charlotte's here. She's in Bergen. Ashley's here. She's in Kansas. I'm going to see how good I'm good at remembering this now. Lovely bunch of Vikings. So on the cover, we're all in our regular clothes, but that's because we were eating crab. We can talk about that a little bit. Susan's here from San Diego. Welcome back. And Arlene up in Winnipeg. And Susan Youngman in Frankfurt, formerly Adirondacks. You knew I had to say it. PJ Lightning is here. PJ, are you in England? I forget exactly where you are. I was doing pretty well until I couldn't remember that one. Let's see who else we have. Jennifer Miller's here. She can't wait to find out about the crab gumbo. We lived. We're still alive. Max is here. Welcome back. Guess whose birthday is coming up tomorrow? I knew it. We've been waiting for this one. Roger is here in Huntington Beach. Say hi to him and Nolvia. Kiwi is here in Bergen. Flipping through lots of people here today. Drea's here in Minnesota, my hometown, Duluth. Are you... Carl's having fun with the flashlight. We stopped and picked one up on the way here. Max says, for my early birthday gifts I received from my sister, I got some new yarn, which I've never heard of this same before. I think the name is Snow Blossom, maybe. It's from China or possibly Korea. Oh, you got to put up pictures of that. We need to see it. Heidi Lee says here, it's -8 in Trøndelag in northern Norway. And Peruta is here, chiming from South Africa. Okay, so where are we? We are now, we've decided we are on our way to Selje from Gudvangen.
Yeah.
We're in.
But we took a little bit of a detour.
Little detour.
When you drive this way, you drive over several mountains, and right here is Fjærland. It's a fjord, so we are at the boat sea level now. But both the ascent and the descent are inside tunnels, so a lot of people are really confused when I find out that they are at sea level here because they expect this to be like a mountain lake.
Yeah. Let's see if they can. I don't think they'll be able to see it, but they'll see it as we're driving. Because right now you would just see some dots, like looks like Christmas lights, but it's not.
Yeah. Then Fjærland has like two things going for it. One is that they have a glacier museum. That is actually pretty good. It looks bad from the outside because I don't know what was wrong with that architect, but he probably thought that he was building the command bunker for the Norwegian Defense Forces or something. So it looks horrible.
Yeah.
But it kind of has this scientific approach to climate and glaciers. So among other things, one of the things I have in the actual museum is a training bike, that exercise bike, that you can use to burn enough calories to melt 100 grams of ice. And that's a hell of a lot more work than most people expect it to be. They also have a sculpture of a mammoth on the outside. I was hoping there was some lighting on it.
It's not lit up, but I don't think our little pen light's going to do it.
I don't think we can see it today because the lighting is so bad.
We could
and we
light
have
up
to
the
kind
snout.
of go into the area of the museum to get close to it anyway.
Yeah. We could take a picture next time, maybe.
The actual village of Fjærland is a book village. You have several of these. I know there is one in Germany and one in Ireland. The idea is that every shop, in addition to being whatever they are, like hotels or cafes or bookshops, are also a bookshop. So in this little village, when I worked there, that's 10 years ago or so now.
Yeah.
They had, if I remember correctly, they had about 300,000 books. And I probably have more than that now because they are like me, they can't throw a book away. And they have enough storage for a little bit more. One of the funny things with it is that in most libraries, when it comes to fiction literature, you just go author, last name, alphabetical. When it comes to non-fiction literature, you go by something called the Dewey system, which has a code for a numerical code for every category in the world. The book village doesn't use the Dewey system. They use kind of an intuitive system where they have two. Well, they were really old when I worked there 10 years ago, so I'm not sure if they are still around or they might be retired. But inside the head of these two people is the entire system for where the books are. So if you can't find one of those two people and ask, well, you have to go through the other 200,999. Yeah, you have to go through all 300,000 books, is my point.
It didn't quite work for you?
There are some very old books, some antiquariate books, and there are some kind of random books. So they get books from donations, from what's left when somebody dies, and that sort of thing.
Inheritance, yeah.
So there is an enormous amount of books, both in, it's mostly in English and Norwegian, but if you can name a language, and they actually print books in that language, they probably have at least some.
Do they have Mindfulness of Vikings in German?
I hope not.
I've been trying to get it because it exists in German, French, Spanish,
Yeah,
I think Italian, but we need it for the shop. Mindfulness for Vikings. Dorky little book, everybody loves it.
no, I honestly hate it, so everybody doesn't love it, so that's not true.
I know. I'm giving you shit. I was going to say, Yeah, here was going to go in. Max said he wasn't quite sure what the yarn was about. Is bamboo yarn like a vegan yarn? Yeah, you can. Bamboo yarn is like vegan. I think bamboo yarn functions a bit more like a cotton. Not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I've done something with bamboo. There was, when it was first came out, I made a dishcloth out of it, and I think it was supposed to be absorbent anyway, so I'm assuming it acts a bit more like a wool. I mean, more like a cotton. Sorry, I said that wrong. But it doesn't mean it's not a blend. You might have something more than just bamboo in there. He says it's nothing to do, nothing to do with dieting or anything, but the material from a plant or whatnot. Yeah. But I think it works a bit like cotton. Sue says, by the way, I was watching the reruns with my mom. Aw, and she said, Carl is fascinating and she really likes your happy nature. Aw, she wanted me to tell you that she really enjoyed watching even though she doesn't Nalbind. That's okay. Some people are just here for the Viking. So, Carl, say hi to Sue's mom.
Hello, Sue's mom.
Hi, Sue's mom. Maria's here as well, so we gotta talk about her calendar too, by the way, which is coming up. Maria, do you have enough people on there? I haven't even figured. I think I was gonna make a cowl, a Christmas cowl, which I probably should start on because I gotta submit a pattern soon. But she has, if you don't know, Maria Lindhale has a Nalbinding Advent calendar. If you look up massor av jula, uppskrifter eller massa av Nalbinding, that was it. She says, appears that we have one pattern as of yet. Oh, crap, because we only got like 2 weeks to go before Advent starts. So every Advent Sunday, if it's in my case, it's going to be the very end of Sunday, there will be a pattern that will become available for Christmas throughout Advent, and it'll be a needle binding, and it's on her blog. And Maria, you can go ahead and post a link to that, by the way. And if you're interested in submitting a pattern, by the way, talk to Maria because we probably need them. And if we don't need them this year, we're going to need them next year. She's got a group for that. So definitely check that out, and I will get working on a pattern. I promise. I just have to buy some red yarn. Can you believe of all the yarn I have, I don't have red? I think I used it all on the cape that I made you.
Just holding a big lump of red
Ah,
yarn.
that's your mom's red. It's not the same. It's too skinny. She has an idea for a pattern. We'll begin next week. Okay, if I can't think of a pattern, it's going to probably be a cowl in very Christmas colors anyway. So it's a pattern I've done before. Albert says, I'm here to talk vibe about Viking when I can. Oh yeah, no, that's the Viking. So we used to call it quarantine Nalbinding because that's when it started up. And then it switched to Viking Nalbinding because let's just face it, Nalbinding is a very limited topic and it's fun to have. But you're going to run out of stuff real soon. So since we're in a Viking village normally, we decided to make it Viking Nalbinding when it was proper to get rid of the word quarantine. And so now we do Viking and Nalbinding, and in this case, crab, bamboo. Anyway, oh yeah, and there's a book village in Breda Woerde in Holland, says Garcia. Have you seen that one, Carl?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Ah, okay.
In particular.
And he says, as for the snow blossom, by the way, I'm going a little bit backwards. Max says it's honestly not sure what material it's made of, but maybe it's made of wool such as alpaca or something, and maybe some vegan material like bamboo. Definitely post it. We'll have a look and it'll be neat. PJ says that is not the name of iced coffee. Oh, I gotta go up further. Raymond has a round hood tutorial. Yes, I do. I saw that Dre was trying to make a hood. So I found that I'm kind of like lazy mode. So when I decided to try to make one for my kids, first I made a cowl. So you start here and I go down, although you can go the other way if you're good at that too. But I think it's easier to shape downwards for me than it is to shape upwards over shoulders. So I start here and go down, and then I pick back up here. I'll pick up right where I started, and then I'll go around, but you'll have to increase because if you have your cowl this tight around your head, it's going to be like this. It's not good. So you increase a little bit as you go around. It'll say it on the pattern, and then you'll chain like 4 stitches here where it's not connected here. And there's a reason for this. I do 4. And then you continue all the way around without any more increasing or anything until you get to the part where you're just covering your head and you can pinch it together. And then what you do then is you lay it flat so that the chains are folded exactly in half. And then you cut. Scary, but you do. I like to stitch it down first, but technically I don't think you have to because it's knots. But anyway, then you cut and then you sew the top. But and then I put like a little binding around to a casing around to hide the cut stitches. But if you go onto my Instagram, which is badly in need of updating, and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the feed, you'll find the pattern for the cowl, and you'll find the pattern for the hood that is made from that cowl. good luck you can do it. Remember, I did it with lazy mode in mind. So you can try it. And there's some other ones in there too. If you look at in the top of the Instagram, you have these little story folders, and you can look for the one that says hood pattern or hood stitch along. Hood SAL, I think it is anyway, due to limited words. But then you can see other people who have also made hoods, and some of them do little different versions, and it's quite cool. What do you say?
I'm trying to find a way to not make you look like a ghost. So
it was a dark. It's stormy. We're in the dark, Carl. They said they had puppies in here.
so if I put the light there, you look.
That's okay. Then I just look like I have no hair.
You look fine.
Yeah.
If I put the light where I had it, like this, then you are the ghosty presence in the room.
Okay, so to get the needle mining out of the way, because obviously we're going to drive soon. I've got a steering wheel here. This is the next thing I'm working on. Carl's got a shine on it. Too bright. It's a nipple. No, it's a Viking boob. There we go. If you can see it. It is the way that yarn looked. There, maybe if I do it like that, you can see it a bit better. Yeah, there you go. You can see it a bit better. It is a little bit two-pointed in the middle of it's going to be a hat. It'll be two-pointed a little bit in the middle of the hat, but that's okay. Some people like that. Ghost of Yule Past. No, that's that one. I'm the present, baby. You're the past. It's the Viking 2.0. Yep, it's almost big enough for my nipple. Not made for children.
The nipples are not made for
Yep.
children.
No.
I think that's exactly what they are.
Too, but it's sick. This is that yarn though. It's got that little bit of color in it. Oh god, there's got to be. We're gonna have to blast the crap out of this. Hang on. Where's the other? Woo! Work lamp. There. Now you can kind of see it better. So this is what that sock yarn looks like. I'm using Finish 2+2 F2, and right now it's waving a little bit, but not too much. But the idea is I can push it flat, which means if I steam it, it will lay flat. And I think it looks like it's a little bit more pointed. It looks like it's a little bit more of a proud nipple than it actually is, but that's because of the color change happened right in the middle. So it'll be kind of fun. Carl is right. That is what they are for. You sick people. I like my audience. I like our audience. Okay, anyway, flashlight back to Carl in regular mode. So this is what I'm doing. I am a little over 200 grams out of my 640 gram wage. If you don't know what that is, it's the Stash Busting 2023. We start at Halloween every year, and you set off a certain amount of your stash. Let's face it, we'll never get through the whole thing, but you wage how much you think you can use by the end of the year. So I thought I could use up 640 grams of my stash by the end of the year, and I have to make something with all of it. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't have to like it. It just has to be used. So I'm at about 200 grams right now. I finished 3 hats. I got to post them. And I finished a little bag, and now I'm starting another hat, but this time with the really skinny yarn, because I tried to use 250 grams of skinny yarn, and Raymond said it wasn't good enough. So now I have 250 grams of skinny yarn and about just under 400 grams of regular yarn. It's bulky, I suppose. Should we drive?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll drive. So that means we're not. Carl might be able to see chat. You can
off the blinder.
Yeah, no, the blinder's got to go off. Let's see there. Okay. Then we'll turn the camera around. Put the flashlight in the door so I know where it is. Okay. Brights are on. We are just at the edge, so we're gonna drive through. I have to put my seatbelt on. Are we ready to go? Carl will be your navigator because I cannot look at the phone and drive at the same time. But I'll stop a little bit and catch up on chat. So you keep talk amongst yourselves. It's only 9:40. Laugh out loud. Now it is 6:17 p.m. in Norway, and you can see it's a little frosty here. That's why it looks so sparkly. There we go. And if you can see little lights off to the right, that's where we're going, Fjärland.
Yeah, we are now driving into Fjärland from out in the fjord.
Yeah, the water's right below.
We drove a little bit past Fjärland on our way to find a place to start.
That's what a speed sign looks like in US, the speed limit sign and kid crossing.
This it also tells you that
Norway,
you can't drive over more than 40 children on this road.
Yeah, no more than 40 children. Nipples or not. So, where we're driving 20, but that's because it's not a very long stretch of land that we're going, although we can probably... That's a pickup truck in Norway, not something you normally see.
And not that uncommon here.
No.
People are farmers and booksellers around here.
Driving to
Pickup
Fairyland.
trucks are pretty useful for both of those things.
I didn't even think about that. Oh, there's a school here, by the way. Driving to Fairyland, little school. It's Fjarland, but it does sound like Fairyland. I never thought of that, so that's quite cute. Fjarland is FJ, and then there's an AE that becomes one letter.
Are you going into the school?
I'm going to the school. No, I'm turning around. I just wanted to show them the cute little school. It's teeny tiny. That's a whole, how many grades? No, I think that's a kindergarten.
I would guess this is the kindergarten, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
There isn't that many people living here.
Fjarland, there's the school, the whole thing right there. No. Fjarland, which means feather country, doesn't it?
I
Directly?
think it might have a different origin than that.
Literal translation, I saw it, Adrian wrote, literal translation is springland. I wasn't thinking of fjord like that, but that's not weather, that's not like
in
season
Norwegian,
spring.
the word for spring, this
they
is
lost us a
something
second.
that you only see in. Are we completely lost?
We'll come back in again. Oh, now we're back. Yeah, no, we just hit a blank spot. We tried to check the decking, or the internet coverage as we were going through.
It's like
But Fjarland means, springland, but when he's thinking spring, he's thinking of coil. That's what we said. Okay, continue.
there is like a handful of churches I know of that are not white. The one on Voss is made out of stone, so it's not white. The one in Sogndal is red, and this one is red.
Yeah. And then here comes the church. That's what we were saying earlier, if you didn't see it. Yeah, this is a red church. You said you haven't seen too many of these.
They are very uncommon. Almost all churches in Norway are white. Very, very few exceptions.
This is my craft work with an arrow, she says. Oh, there was a cute old building there. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, let's see. And if you noticed on the right, we just passed some tractor eggs. I like tractor eggs. Tractor eggs. Why do you call those tractor eggs?
Isn't that where the tractors come from?
That's where the tractor lays the eggs. I love watching these strange shows, says Raymond. Look at this building here. If we can get it in light. That is old. I don't know if we can get it. Well, I could point it upwards, but it...
Probably, or just not that well maintained. I'm guessing it's old though.
But it's got some... I would love the reclaimed wood on that, but right now I think all we can really see is the mason work at the base of it. But it's a barn, basically.
Yeah.
They like the tractor eggs, and I love the building too. I used to take pictures of those for YouTube covers as well, because they look so nice. I love the old wood.
So now you will see the church more clearly.
Yeah, and we'll drive around it as much as we can, so people don't get car sick. Yep, and the license plates look different in Europe. In Norway, you have 2 letters at the front and 5 letters after, if it's a regular car. That little barn we passed was cute on the right too. Lots of old buildings here. Yeah. Hotel Mundal.
Yeah.
That's not Hotel Mundal there though, I don't think.
Well, the hotel is also a bookshop like everything else around.
Everything else is a bookshop, okay. Let's see if we can get into the church. Maybe not, but we can come around it from a different area. That's an old house. I'm just shining brights into everybody.
I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a cafe in the summer, but
Is it?
I'm not sure.
You wouldn't think they'd have that much tourism here.
They do. They have cruise ships.
Oh, do the cruise ships
Just
get into here?
Just like we do in Gudvangen.
Should we walk around there a little bit?
No, it's biting cold. I'm not going out.
Okay, no, he's not going. It's -4.5. There you go. You can see some of it. Maybe if I back up even more, let's see how far this parking lot goes. Oh, I don't want to go any further than that. We're starting to go down.
Yeah.
There you can see the church, a little crooked. How old do you think that church is?
I have to guess here. So, and I'm not an expert on this, but I would say
Straighten it out for you.
it's probably late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere there. So turn of last century.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just guessing. And they often build new churches in exactly the same style as the old one.
Roger says, when a Norwegian says it's too cold.
Yeah, no, this is Minnesota temperatures, not
This
Norwegian
is
temperatures.
You can see the tops of the gravestones over there, though. Maybe a little bit more this way, too. There we go. We're no longer falling into the ditch. What were you saying? What about the window style?
Now, the window style, again, indicates age. But if it was very, very old, the windows would be smaller than this.
Yeah. And I like that it has like a half moon window in the front and a little steep, well, the bell tower, of course. Now, the American ones, a lot of the American ones are actually in the shape of a cross as seen from above, at least the Catholic ones. But
Yeah,
this
no.
one isn't.
No, but the Protestant churches aren't built in the same style as the Catholic ones.
Yeah.
The Norwegian churches almost always have a tower. I don't remember the direction, but the tower is almost always in the same compass direction.
Yeah.
Um,
Do we have any vampires here? I forgot to lock the doors.
it has a weapons room where you come in, so there is always like a hallway type thing in the other end opposed to the tower, and then the altar is right beneath the tower inside the church.
But definitely keep posting, by the way, when you lose us, so that we'll see it. It should pop back in again, but then we know maybe we have to drive a little faster to get it back on again. I'm going to catch up a little bit on chat while we're staring at the building, because this isn't very long. They love the car tour. Oh, yeah, we haven't done a car tour in a while, but this was kind of a fun idea. Neat. Okay, there we go. So,
The locals are probably wondering what the hell we are doing.
That's
because
okay, we're staring.
In the winter, they have no tourists.
No.
So very little is happening.
Ashley
here in the
says
winter.
it's spooky. Kiwi says, I have 643 grams left to use before New Year's, which is really good, actually, because Kiwi, she bet a lot more than I did. GTA Valhalla, says Andre on Grand Theft Auto.
If it's yarn, it's good. If it's cocaine, she might have a problem.
No, it's yarn. She's doing really well. I think she was the one that went over a kilo, I think, in choice. Yeah, no, Jennifer Miller, what a great idea. Thank you. It was actually Carl's idea to visit Fjarland. Pruda says, I'm working on a pair of socks. A local reenactor is willing to trade a pair of custom Viking boots with rubber soles for socks. Oh, cool. That's a good deal. My God. Drea says it's 11:20 a.m. in Minnesota. Yeah, they're 7 hours behind unless they're in the week of chime change. PJ is working on the new book today instead of Nalbinding. It's okay. I'm not Nalbinding much today either. I still like driving to Fairyland. Anne Moreau says, I almost finished my first project and weighing it tomorrow. Good job. Albert says it's great to do craft trades. Oh yeah, great to do craft trading. I agree. Literal translation Springland, which we got to. Max's yarn is a DK yarn. Oh, that's a nice one to work with. You can do like mom and stitch with that. Then we were gone, and then we came back. Maria said, just like the train TV show, where we will see scenery, lots and lots of frosty wheat. Charlotte says, I have not made anybody poop this week, as it's my week off next week. Oh, we were talking about poop earlier today. Mostly to do with the crab meat, but we'll get back to that. Adrian says, my church at Vilnius is black, and it's from it's 1674. Why does it not surprise me that you have a black church in color? Because he's kind of gothic. No, he's black metal Viking. Rim says, I love watching these train shows. They like the tractor eggs, says Jennifer. Cheese roller. They loved the building that we were at. I'm going quickly now. Just wait until those eggs hatch. John Deere's for everyone. Oh, what a concept. I love it. Otter says, nah, Norway tractor eggs will hatch Massey Ferguson. Kiwi says, the rest of the year, the stash busting I'll probably spend on needle binding a dress. Oh my God, that's going to be a massive undertaking, but so beautiful. I just started on it today, and it's a lovely dark blue yarn. Oh, you have to post the following up on that. I think Outer's doing a dress right now too, you got to see. Or at least a very long sweater. 19th century building. I think we were asking about that one, the one that I parked outside of the barn. Was that 19th century, do you think, or older?
It's hard to say.
I'd put it just slightly older. Yeah, 19th century, yeah.
The thing is, people built things. The stonework was mostly done by traveling stonemasons. Because there isn't enough need for stonework in a small village for there to actually be a stonemason. That would be traveling people who were just good at it, who came and asked, hey, do you need any stonework? And then you make a deal with them. The wood is usually built by the owners and their friends and family. So it's kind of hard to date things because nothing is kind of machined.
Oh, no, that's true. That's really. Do you think this would have a stone foundation like the Viking houses?
Certainly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it is from the modern times, more or less. So even if it's late 1800s, you would have a stone foundation. You don't build things straight on the ground anymore.
Speaking of, though, look at the stone foundation on this fence here. It's like so perfectly lined up. I don't know if you can see it there if my lights are too bright. It's so perfectly lined.
Yep.
By the way, Raymond, I liked this comment. I have to fly back a bit. Yeah, a kilo of yarn is just a little bit cheaper, but probably a lot more addictive. Oh, you have no idea. Nala says, we do not discuss the yarn and fabric I might or might not have bought while in Estonia. I did buy 2 new needles. Oh yeah, no, the woman does not discuss the size of her yarn stash. Oops, car. We'll let him pass. There we go.
Might be the local neighborhood watch trying to find out what kind of crazy people are staring at our church.
Because the walls aren't painted in tar, says Adrian. Let's see, catching up, I'm gonna skip it over real quickly, but it's good. I like that everyone's keeping each other a company too. Just found out that it's wool. I honestly don't know what kind of wool material it is derived from, but I would say it's possibly alpaca. Could be yak too, actually. Worth checking out. It's quite cool. Yak has really nice soft wool. Himalayan yarn was really popular for a little while. Let me introduce you to polyvinyl, says Adrian. Narrow road. Oh yeah, all the roads are narrow in Norway. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now that I caught up on chat a little bit, and then I'll read a bit more when we get further down. Okay, so we're looking now. We're at all these houses are all books now.
There are like I think it's 11 bookstores in the area we are driving through now.
Yep, there's a car ahead of me, so I won't be able
that might have changed. I haven't been here since I was working here, more or less. So
yeah, it might be flashing a car coming up, but he's not moving. He's just got his lights on. He's ruining our view, damn it. Oh, there you go. He turns off the lights.
One of my jobs when I was working here was when somebody orders a book online, I jump on a bike and then I go and ask one of the elderly people, where is this particular book? Then I get like 2 suggestions on places where it might be, and then I go bicycling to those places and look for the book.
Now you have the local grocery store / gambling center / post office / apothecary. What else do they have here? It's just like the one in Gudvangen.
Yeah.
One-stop shopping in Fjärland.
The first floor of the building there, I know there are books because I was there.
Let's see if I can turn it.
I spent days and days looking for a particular travel journal in that building.
Oh, really?
Well,
they're approachable, so it could definitely be. And the other ones down there too, there's like 2 more.
I don't remember, and I can't really recognize the place in darkness because I was always here in sunlight.
No, doesn't help that Carl doesn't have night vision. Ah! I took the phone out of the holder. Just a minute, trying to fix it. There we go. It's just like nothing ever happened. No, fuck's sake. Okay, now the phone fell between. We're back. Do not drop the phone between your feet. Okay, trying to see. It's this thing.
One back on YouTube.
Oh yeah. It's not staying. Trying it again.
Somebody has fingers.
You don't have fingers. You have gloves. Oh, it's this grip thing. Sucks. No, and then it's not in all the way. Okay, there. We got it. We're good. No, maybe. Everybody hold their breath. We made it. Okay. You may now take your seasick pills. Okay. Then we can drive a little further down. Fruit stand on the right. Why does these live streams remind me of the ending of the Monty Python's Holy Grail? These little things here on the right, we're just passing here. They're like little garages. Very tiny though.
Yeah.
Those are stalls, are they not? Like they look like Christmas stalls. See?
I believe so, but I went there when I was here.
No, you can open up the front of them anyway. And you
there are some minor self-service bookstores here.
Okay, now I have to take it out again.
Either buy or exchange books.
Okay, there we are. There's books on the outside if you want to just go and take one. These ones actually do say 30 kroner per book on the sign in front of us, so it's a very good trusting system here.
You saw the same thing in Voss,
Yep.
you have the bookstore where there is nobody there, but if you want to take a book, you can just vips some money.
Yep, they usually just leave a little. You'll see that in the shopping centers. Yeah, just a phone number and a bookstore. Let's see if I can get this in again. And right ahead of us is called Inkaleisen. And did I say that right? Inkaleisen. Okay, let's try to put this back in again.
Local dialect for in some way.
Yeah, in some way. Okay, and is that bookstore as well?
I think it's a cafe and a bookstore.
Yep.
Everything here is something and a bookstore.
And the Diplomis ice cream sale, so they have ice cream there, so you know it's worth going.
So I'm right, it's a cafe.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna pass this car that probably thinks we're casing the joint. Did you notice all the houses have wood? When I grew up, a lot of the houses were aluminum siding, which was like the coolest thing since sliced bread in the 70s.
Yeah, nobody...
Here we have Christmas lights. And this one is called Fjordstue, which is a restaurant, cafe, and
Bookstore.
bookstore.
Of course. Now, as I said, they have a lot of tourists, and to be...
Yeah.
They are a little bit better prepared to take a lot of tourists than, say, for example,
That's the entry.
Olden.
Where? Olden?
Olden or Loen, where we went to meet
Yeah,
your mother.
we went to meet my mom there, and I thought it would be much bigger. There's got water bottles.
It is bigger, but you have to kind of bus a kilometer up the valley to see the rest of it. So the area where the cruise ships are, there is like one shop and one cafe, and that's it.
Yeah.
There is enough area for the tourists to spread around without having to walk too far.
By the way, on the left side, there's more of this It's not actually a fence now; it's an actual retaining wall with it's made out of these rocks. And is that because of landsliding?
Probably yes. I would say it's probably because they built the road here.
Yeah.
So the road cuts into the landscape. So you either have to remove a lot of the land on that side, or you have to build a wall that holds it back.
And is there any significance with the stones on the side of the road that are being used as a fence? We do this in Duluth too, on Skyline Parkway.
This is how they used to do it in Norway. You saw this everywhere when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They're called stabbesteiner.
Oh, the sound quality went down, so.
They are basically to prevent cars from driving into the fjord.
Yeah.
Or to make sure that people who are bicycling go head first into the fjord instead of just cycling into the fjord.
Okay. Hopefully the sound will fix as we drive. Is it getting better? Nope, something happened to the sound, they said.
Yeah, then you should probably just move ahead.
Yeah. We'll move ahead. I think it's something everybody's having a problem with right now. But the sound quality hopefully isn't just the link.
Yeah, if you can hear me, keep us updated if the sound gets better
Is like,
or worse.
Okay, the sound has gone for one. The sound is like we are in somebody's pocket. The microphone is available. Oops, gonna move over here.
It's probably not the coverage.
No.
It's probably something that happened when you dropped the phone.
Well, maybe. It was a little bit ago, but I can check. First, we'll get around this car. And then we'll see. Otherwise, we might have to do Viking charades or restart it. Okay, tractor. Oh, look, it's an egg. Has given birth. Okay. Let's see.
See if you hit mute or something.
No, I didn't hit mute. I was going to see if I could type on here, but I don't think I can. The egg hatched! Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Well, they can teach themselves here now. Can you join in on the YouTube and write in the chat, Carl? Because I don't think I can on my phone.
First, get the confirmation.
Oh, sound is okay from Jennifer Miller. Okay, so it might have been. I thought maybe it might have just been where we were standing. So I can see the sound is on, and the microphone is not muffled. So, okay, but if one person can hear us, we'll keep going, and then maybe it'll fix on a replay. So yeah, the egg hatched, and look, it's like twins. I can hear you fine, just the volume is lower. Yeah, I can try to up the volume on my phone, but I don't think that will do anything. It might have, maybe, okay, I'm gonna rub the microphone a second. But there and there. It went down a few notches. Maybe it was because is it better now or worse? I did push the Sounds like the mic is covered. Let's see.
That might be.
Maybe there's a mic on the side of the phone. Is it okay? Better or worse now? Definitely the microphone. We've had this problem on YouTube before, and then we tried to switch it, and then it's better. Says Sue's worse for one. It went loud for 1 second. I thought maybe it was because it was.
You turned off Bluetooth, right?
Let's just turn off my radio. It might be my. Yeah, I turned off Bluetooth. Okay, now. Better or worse? It's coming in and put. In and input. We were just there, she said. No, any better? Better. Now it's good. Okay, yep, it was. I turned off Bluetooth, but my car radio was on, so when I turned it off, then it's okay. So we're good. I'm going to put this back in the mount again and see if that helps. I'm using a skein of yarn as a stabilizer. Okay, I'm going to cough for a minute. Okay. Is it bad again? Worse now? What the fuck?
The yarn, probably.
Maybe it's the yarn. I'll just hold it. Should we hold it like that? Back. No, it shouldn't be the yarn, but it might be that the something on the top of the phone or whatever is holding. Okay, so Carl, you have to hold this because I cannot legally hold a phone and drive. Up and down again. It's jumping back and forth. I think no, the yarn is like way over here and it was here the whole time. But works. I gotta remember, actually, there it is. Don't move. Okay, it's good. You know what it might be? We also have a delayed reaction. By the time they're writing, we've already tried to figure out one step ahead. Okay, my cough is good. It's good now. Okay, so you hold this, Carl, and we'll drive down in the end a bit, and then we're gonna have to talk about crab when we run out of when we run out of books. Yeah. Okay, so yes, the tractor hatched if you balance it on the dashboard with your hand on the dashboard.
No, but we are practically out of Fjärland now.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll go down the end of this road. Okay, so at least we know by the tractor the internet is good if we have any problems, if we go too far. Can you see over the right, the lights? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see them.
The lights of the road, I mean, down there.
Yeah,
that's the outline of the fjord.
Yeah, but it's probably hard to see on the screen.
Okay.
And you see the lights over there.
Yeah,
that's the other side of the fjord. But it's very hard to make any sense of it when...
Funny that we can't see any bars. Okay, I think we are out of interesting landscape. So why don't you tell them about... How did the crab go, Carl? What did we do? We had to make all kinds of substitutions and things.
Yeah, we kind of followed two recipes. One we got from one of you. What's her name?
Oh, it was Jennifer Miller. Yeah, she's on now. So
we followed Jennifer Miller's recipe, and we also followed another recipe we found, and I don't know which idea it's from which recipe, but we had to make some adjustments because some American ingredients are practically impossible to get in Norway.
Oh yeah.
Like the sassafras root and the
okra.
Yeah, the slimy cactusy thing. So we had to make some adjustments. Yeah. And then one of the recipes didn't have tomatoes in it, so we threw in some tomatoes.
Well, because when I thought of gumbo, it reminds me of goulash, and I wasn't sure, but we saw that half of the recipes had a little bit of tomato in it, and half didn't. So we used a canned whole tomatoes, and then it said it was supposed to be chopped up whole tomato, canned. So then I mushed the crap out of the canned tomato and then threw it in the pot. 2 cans of that. By the way, we made enough for 15.
Yeah. Oh, it was more than enough.
Holy crap! Yeah, we got some in the freezer.
We also bought like a kilogram of shrimp, and that we added in.
Yeah, a kilo of shrimp. Yeah.
And we used both the white and the brown meat from the crabs. And I talked to Georg that morning, and asked him if he wanted to come along for our experimental cooking.
Yeah.
And he looks at the crabs and goes, "No, I don't eat experimental animals."
Yeah.
But he did actually turn up, and he really
liked
it.
Okay, I'm going to put this on us because we're kind of out of view. I'll put that on there, and then I have the pen light thing. If you hit it once, there we go. Okay. So now we're a little bit more muffled. But anyway, the view that you can see is pretty much...
Yes.
Yep. Oh, there you can see it quite nice here. Okay, well, you can see a little bit there. That's the other side of the fjord, where so you see we're at the end of a fjord. It rounds off right over there. So when we're going to go drive to Selje, we're going back on that road where the string of lights are, and we're going to continue to the left. But the sound is fine now, so that's good to hear. Okay, so yes, more about the crab. So we replaced the okra. We found out we could substitute with the zucchini squash in Norway.
Zucchini.
Yep, that worked well.
That
Maybe I turn this light off. No, this light. No,
See.
it's the pen light on the street. There we are. There you go. No, it's on you. Here, I'll do it on you. There you go. Okay, yes, there we are. There you are.
Yeah, if you just, let's see, what else? With green peppers, that is green peppers.
But we did find Tabasco sauce at the end that wasn't regular Tabasco sauce.
Yeah,
Turn off the motor.
we were kind of, and I mean her particularly, was worried because an enormous amount of spice went into this pot.
It was lots. It was huge amounts. I mean, I wasn't even measuring
pepper,
tablespoons. I was using handfuls at this point. Cayenne pepper, chili powder, and regular pepper. We didn't have white pepper, but actually we can get that. We just thought we had it and we didn't.
So we decided not to put the hot sauce. And we bought a type of hot sauce that was called Damn the Torpedo, which is supposed to be very hot.
It was slightly hotter than Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah. So we decided to have that next to instead of in.
In case, because it was a lot of food and we didn't want to waste it. If it was...
Despite of all the spice, it was completely edible even for
the Minnesotan.
yeah, even for Karin here. In the end, we have Swedish people shotting the hot sauce and drinking spoonfuls of it.
Oh my God, that was funny. Yeah, the Swedes.
I'm not envying the people who had to clean up the toilets afterwards.
So I'm going to rub the, I think my camera is a little bit, got something on it. I'm going to rub it real quick. No, there, you're a little clearer now. I can see you better. Okay. Yes, so they were spoonfuling the Tabasco sauce. But you, on the other hand, when we went to put Tabasco, or not the Tabasco sauce, but the torpedo, Damn the Torpedo sauce, you put how many drops on your bowl?
3 or 4.
3 or 4 drops on your bowl. And what happened?
I started sweating like I had run a marathon.
Yep. And so when you saw the Swede was about to take a spoonful of it?
Well, that's
directly.
That's what I've always said. The Swedes are like the Scandinavian Digos. They should have been Southern Europeans. They just misplaced.
Well, they have surströmming, and I don't know how in the hell.
Exactly.
Yeah, surströmming is the stuff that if you open the can, just open it a little bit, everybody in the car will want to retch.
They make this poor fish rot on purpose and then they eat it. So I don't think they are civilized people. I think they are barbarians.
So this roux thing, I haven't tried to make a roux since oh God, but it's got to be 26 years ago. It's well before I tried to move before I moved to Norway.
I tried to
move to Sweden. And end up with a Norwegian.
You failed and you had to to Norway.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Swedes are chucking Tabasco sauce, or not Tabasco sauce, but hot sauce. Anyway, when I was trying to learn how to cook, I was going to get married, and I need to know how to do this. And I thought one thing I really suck at is gravy and sauces, but I need to know how to do this. So. And that's where you make a roux with, it was butter and flour at the time anyway. And I never really mastered that. And then within about 6 months of moving here, I noticed that they have gravy and sauce packages in a bag, just add water or milk. Well, shit. So then I stopped learning that. So it's the first time I did, but then it's just okay. So then I wasn't sure how much water to how much, how much oil to how much flour. So we found the 15 portion recipe that used a gallon of broth, I think.
I learned how to make both white and brown sauce in school. But in
Norway,
Norway,
what the hell were you doing this part then?
Because in Norway you have these bags you can buy that says just buy milk and add this, boil milk and add this.
Yep.
So why would I ever sit there and stare at the pan and wait for the milk to caramelize or whatever they have?
So this one used one. Okay, so here's Jennifer's recipe said 1-to-1 ratio. 1 cup, I think it was 1 cup to 1, or equal parts anyway, flour and oil. So we've got this other one, and the other recipe said, okay, 1.5 cups of butter and 1 cup of oil. We don't have a cup measurement in Norway, so I'm using an actual cup. So I might have my numbers off a little bit, but it was close to 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1. More flour. Anyway, and then you sit there and you stir and stir and stir. And I'm really glad that the one recipe said you're going to be doing this for at least 30 minutes because... And then Jennifer wrote on there, but don't stop stirring or it'll burn. So I'm sitting here scraping this thing. I think everybody was irritated with the sound of me scraping metal with a wire whisk. And it took about 40 minutes and it turned a really chocolatey brown. But it looked good. At first I thought it started to smell like burnt flour, but no, it had some seriously good. It's I think a thickener, of course, but. And then I started adding the stock in because Jennifer's recipe said to have the vegetables in with the roux until they were tender, and then add the sauce, or then add the broth. Where the other one says add the broth first, and then the soda, and then the vegetables. So I was trying to do it Jennifer's way, but I thought it was getting a little too burned too quickly. So then because the it might be the squash situation going on there, I don't know, but it started to the zucchini. It started to get really thick and burn. So I would add, I started adding a cup of the broth at a time and eventually added it all in the end.
One question.
Yeah.
The person who gave us the recipe.
Jennifer.
Do you, when you make it in America, do you only use the white crab meat or do you use both? From inside the shell and from the claws and from
Because you use the stuff in the middle.
I used all of it.
The roux, I mean the what the hell they call the crab eggs. The roe.
Yeah.
What do you call that? The crab eggs again. The caviar. No. Is it roe?
In Norwegian you would call it rogn, but I
Rogn,
don't know
yeah,
the
that was
English
it. I think
term
it's
for it.
anyway. Use that, and you used the meat, but it's also kind of mustardy. They called it mustard in one thing. It's not actually mustard, but they called it the mustard of the crabfish.
I have no idea what you're on about, but
It's the
yes,
squishy,
the meat from inside the
snotty
shell.
looking shit. Yeah.
It shouldn't look like snot
It didn't look like quite like snot. It was chunky
or
snot.
mustard for that part. If the crab is proper,
It was
shouldn't look like
diarrhea in consistency.
that. And then you have a bad crab.
No, all the crabs had it in there. It was next to the meat on the side anyway, not the part where the brains and the intestines are.
No, but, I don't really distinguish.
She uses every bit she can. I don't know any newness.
Then she
Okay.
did it the same way we did.
Yep. Adrian says all opening stir-steaming has to be done outside. It's true.
It should be done outside of Norway.
If you don't open
Preferably
that
in
shit
Sweden.
inside a house or apartment due to the pressure, the smell will permanently stick to the walls. Names, she said, by the way. She doesn't know the names, but she uses every bit of the crab. But yeah. And then there was one thing we thought we could do, but this could be the thickness of the roux, is that we could have had more crab meat in than we did. Because it said a total we had to use, I think, 3 pounds of shrimp and 1 pound of crab. I don't know, but that was that one recipe. But we were just dumped the whole kilo of shrimp in there. Of course, we shelled it first. We didn't make a stock because we had seafood stock.
And that also, when you get crabs from crab traps, you don't know how much meat is in every individual crab. So it's very hard to calculate the correct amount without a scale, obviously. If we had used a scale, then it would be easier.
Yeah, we didn't have a scale either. We're too winging everything.
Yeah, but when you told me to just measure it so that you have as much crab as you have zucchini, then I go, okay, the Americans will do everything
because
to
we got
avoid
the
metric
zucchini.
system. Just give me 2 zucchinis worth of crab, man.
Well, we were going up to the counter because they don't have a scale in Joker either in the grocery store. So we brought up 3 zucchinis. I'm like, you need to do me a favor. How much does that weigh? She's like, a little over a kilo. Okay, take away 1 zucchini. How much does it weigh now? About 800 grams. And then we're looking at one of them, and it's less than the pound, which is 438 grams, I guess. So we're like, okay, we're going to put 2 zucchinis in there. We're putting one. So that, okay, we know the 2 zucchinis is a little bit more than a pound. So if you have 2 zucchinis worth of crab in there, it's a good system. No, but we could have easily had a lot more in there. And I noticed the other recipe had where you made the stock yourself, and the fish stock was had a carrot in it, 1 carrot. So I had him mince up 1 carrot, really teeny tiny, and we threw it in with the crab broth. I didn't even notice the carrot in the gumbo in the end.
No, it's because I shaved it down to nothing.
It was literally just for flavor, but that actually seemed to do pretty well. I didn't even need the sour cream. I got sour cream in case it was too hot and spicy because it looked so good and I wanted to eat it, but I was afraid my mouth would be on fire. But clearly, I could add shit tons more of that that powder. Either that or Norwegian version of cayenne pepper and chili powder and paprika is nothing compared to the American versions of it.
Yeah. So we use 2 green peppers. The recipe called for 1 large green pepper.
But the
that
Norwegian ones
was
are not large.
large American style, so it's probably the size of a small house.
Yeah.
So
1 onion, but the onion was big.
1 onion, 2 zucchinis,
Yeah.
1 carrot.
The zucchinis were not American-sized zucchinis, by the way. They're like half.
About half a garlic.
No. You used about 5 or 6 cloves and big cloves of garlic in that. There was a lot of garlic in it.
But how many cloves are in a garlic?
1 garlic thing has quite a few cloves in it.
But right. So 5.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We're going to have to go back here. Are you familiar with the Carlos for scale meme? I have to check that. When I think of that, I think of Arna and Carlos. Green pepper, onion, and celery is what we call the holy trinity of Cajun cooking. We did have celery in there. We put in extra celery, actually, because the other recipe said put some in the stock as well, which we weren't making. And the celery didn't look nearly American in size, so I think we used about 6 branches of the celery stalks. Yeah, 6 stalks. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to catch up because we're running out of time here. Oh, yep. Way more back than that. So late at night. Yeah, it seems like it, but it's actually not even 7 o'clock yet. It's almost 7 o'clock p.m.
No, we can't
Hot sauce
blame
is
them
a
all.
colonic. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. What was Isak? What were we worried about the Swedes in the morning?
No, Isak was making fun of Marie because Marie cleans toilets Monday through Friday. And this was Friday evening, which
She's in
had
the picture
slipped,
doing this, I think, or something.
slipped Isak's mind. So Isak was eating hot sauce and making fun of Marie because she had to clean the toilets in the morning. And then we look at the week plan, it turns out Isak has to clean the toilets on Saturday.
So he left her a love letter in the bathroom, he said.
Yeah.
It was burned on the way out. I don't know. We were also drinking beer. Wonder what American vegetables look like. Vegetable sizes. They're huge. I mean, a red pepper in the United States is like this, but then Norway is like this. See you next week, Garcia. What are you guys doing for dinner? I think it's going to be grilled cheese sandwiches because we bought the Norwegian way of eating the crab meat would be with loaf, mayonnaise, the crab meat, and then some lemon to drizzle on top. So we bought loaf just in case the Norwegians couldn't handle the spice that I didn't clearly put in there. But nobody touched the loaf. We have lots of loaf left over. So we're having grilled cheese sandwiches tonight. And if you don't know what that is, it's 2 slices of loaf white bread with butter on it, and then you put some cheese in the middle and some meat maybe, and you just...
Next time we are having gumbo, and I think we are doing it again.
Oh, we are doing it again soon. It was a success.
The thing that was extremely work consuming was cleaning all the crab.
Yep.
So next time we are going to tell people it starts 2 hours before it actually starts, and then we're just having them clean the crabs.
Oh yeah. Nope, that was good. Yeah, we cleaned a lot of crab. So the gumbo was getting better and better because I just sat there. When I was too full to eat anymore, I started cleaning more crab and throwing it in the pot, and it was getting better. So good. Might have to read extra. We're going to be going on Saturday next week, and we will be in Gudvangen this time, but we will have to be indoors, probably in the room that you see in the picture on the thumbnail here, by the way. I'm going to do a real quick scan. See if I missed any questions here.
If you do it in the Freeman room, you might have a wild Swede walking around cooking. And
No, that's okay. We like the Swedes. His name is Isak. He's the one that tried the popcorn beer. The Swedish language does sound a lot like bar, says Adrian.
Yep,
As soon as I've always wondered who was the first person to eat surströmming and realized it was edible.
I don't think it was edible. I think it was a bunch of Swedish people drunkenly decides to do this. And the people who survived that experiment decided this is our new traditional food. And people who can't handle it are not Swedish.
By the way, we got some Jennifer input, so we need to get that in here. I don't measure anything. I taste it as I go, which is kind of what we started doing in the end. The roux makes the gumbo. That is what I was reading in all these other recipes, so I thought, okay, can't fuck that up. 45 minutes later, but it was really, really good. Even the French person didn't complain. As for the Corgan stitches...
Well, she did complain, but not about the gumbo.
As for the Corgan stitches, that's true. She was complaining about the Swede. The love letter he was going to leave. Well, because the last thing she's like, well, I got to go, so I'll see you guys later. He says, well, you're not going to do the dishes. How to piss off a French woman. Okay. As for the Corgan stitch, is there any fragments found in Norway? I know the Mama stitch is the same from Denmark and socks found in Egypt, but I was wondering if there's any other fragments with it. In Norway, I'm not too entirely sure. Anne Decker would be a good one on this one. Maria might know. There definitely is, but it would not be Viking age. I don't think. But we have found them. That stitch has been found in Scandinavia in the Viking age, at least. Let's see. Both, she says. Jennifer says, I use every bit and I don't know about the newness. That was talking about what part of the, are the names, the part of the crab that she uses. Are any parts of, isn't part of the crab poisonous? The gills.
No, the gills,
No?
they're not edible, but they're not poisonous. You should avoid the...
Should be done outside of Norway.
It's called the Pope or the Skjetposen.
Yeah.
So either the Pope or the dirtbag.
More poop talk.
When you break open a crab, right beneath the cleft, where the crab's mouth would be if it was whole, you have most of their intestines and their brain and that sort of thing. And you don't want to eat that. So you just push that flap down and you take it out with everything that is right beneath it.
I looked up a little video just to see how they did it, because I only know the Ordal way of doing it, of deveining a crab. So there was another guy who was doing it just a little bit differently, but more or less the same. But you can see if you can find that video, it's like one of the first ones in Google search from my end, where they lift the headpiece out. But they had a really good point on there, which I liked, and that was if you don't have those little forks to pick the meat out of the legs and stuff, you can use a skewer, a wood skewer, and oh my God, that worked like a charm, because we didn't have those. Let's see, and Audrey says, not necessarily, the green part is just semi-digested food, or in other words, disgusting. Yeah, totally agree there. Doro forgot about the stash busting challenge. It is not too late. It isn't the end of the year yet, so you can set your goal. But now you only have like about 6 weeks to do it in. Today I learned our veggies are supersized. Laugh out loud, says Ashley. You have no idea. It's huge. I get over here and I'm like, it's a plum. No, that's an apple. Okay. Green pepper, onion, and celery is what they call the Holy Trinity of Cajun cooking, says Jennifer. By the way, all the Norwegians survived and they want to come back for more. My boss even sent me a message from the Caribbean saying, thank you for throwing a crab party. It looks like everyone over there needed it. I think that's probably the first picture she saw us in a while where we're all smiling. Could have been the beer. Let's see. I want to crochet a cardigan and pulled out 950 grams of fiber to be spun until the end of the year. Perfect, Doro. That'll do. And then you'll have a Christmas present at the end, either for you or for someone else. Jennifer says, I hope you like to despite the spice and the poop. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to do it again.
We like to despise the poop.
Swedish poop and all. Yes, despite. Kaya says, guys, I really love to hear about some Norse Yule traditions. That would be awesome. Oh, good, because we have to do strange Norwegian food, and we're running out of strange Norwegian food that we haven't shown before. Well, we did find some stuff, though.
I found one thing in Selje that... Apparently, it's a traditional Norwegian thing. I just didn't know about it until I stumbled across it.
Yeah. The Christmas beer tasting, I think, is going to be on the 9th. So, Albert, if you want to come, we've already picked up at least 7 or 8 new cans. We're going to buy the Christmas calendar.
Yeah, but we just bought a very traditional Norwegian brewery's Christmas beer.
And if there's one you want to try,
if you can find something strange yourself and bring it along, that's...
I was just going to say, bring it along, because we got the Hansa, Frydelund, Ås, what are the other regular ones? All the normal ones anyway. Mac, we got the normal ones now, and now we're just looking for the ones that are harder to find, the ones that you don't see in the everyday grocery store. So if you want to come, bring one. I think we're going to do it on December 9th, and Anders Hovland, the one with all the tattoos and the silver, he's setting up the Chieftain Hall, so it'll be nice and lit, and we can film in there. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Maria's explaining the Corbin stitch, which is good. Perfect. Kaya says, no way, we're running out of strange Norwegian food. I know, we need more. We might have to repeat some. That dravlo is really an interesting one.
But there is a lot of... another thing I was thinking of is the fenalår. Because we don't think about this as strange at all. But foreigners might think it's kind of weird carrying around the leg of an
Yeah.
animal and cutting out pieces of it.
And I did pick out some food so far that is not strange for a Minnesotan, but might be strange for other parts of the United States or world, because we're getting to that point. But yeah, Jennifer was wondering, Maria, if you posted the link to the Advent calendar. But look up Masser, Masser, which means a lot of, af, af, which is of, Nalbinding. Yeah, Master of Nalbinding, and then or Nalbinding, and then you'll come up with a blog spot that will say Advent Calendar, or you can at least click on the menu where it says Advent Calendar on there. There she goes. Pruda's got it up for you. So go and check that out. You can see a lot of old patterns too. I think this is what, year 6. So it's been going for a while.
Danish lady who may or may not have hair.
We met Maria in May when we were at the Needle Binding Festival. Yes, and she was one of the hosts in Odense, and she was wearing a head kerchief. So Carl's not convinced she has hair.
No, she was wearing,
She does too.
She was wearing a medieval hoodie thing, so it looked like she was bald as.
She's not bald. She's just medieval and Viking. I'll slap him for you, Marie. We're not sure you have actual hair under here. It's just
Try lifting my hat off and see what happens.
hat hair. It's getting grayer. Okay, now we're really gonna go. We gotta drive the rest of the way. So I will DM you, Karen. Yes, thank you, Ken, to check the bus and work first. Yep, good. I will probably answer it tomorrow, but I will answer it. Okay, bye. I will see you. Have fun. I'll say goodbye from beautiful Fjarland. Come here if you're ever looking for a book. Okay, see you. Yes, Saturday from Gudvangen, 6 o'clock. Then we'll be on next.
Yep.
And with a little bit better link. See you.